If you're preparing for a job interview and you want to nail it, then this video is for you because in this video, I'm going to give you the best possible way to prepare for a job interview ever. And I do mean ever. You don't want to miss this. Hey, what's up, job seekers? This is Tony R. Sanders, and you are watching The Happy Meter. This channel is all about helping job seekers find and do the work that they love. And in this video, I want to give you some interview tips, but interview prep tips, all the stuff that you should be doing prior to applying for a job or going for an interview, definitely before the interview. If you haven't watched our 3 R's video, you definitely want to watch this. In the 3 R's, we talk about research, relationships, and reverse engineering. This is going to fall into the category of the first R. We're going to talk about how to do research. More specifically, how to research a job posting. Now, you may be thinking, why would I research a job posting, and what does it have to do with interview prep? I promise you I'm going to answer all of those things. But first, let me explain to you why the job posting is so important. Put yourself in the hiring manager's shoes. See, on the inside, I'm going to give you some inside tips, some secrets. On the inside, if I'm a hiring manager, if I'm a recruiter, we sit down and we have a conversation together. And in that conversation, we talk about what we need from this particular role, what we need from this job. This helps me as the hiring manager because I can talk through what I actually need to help me drive whatever business objectives I have to drive. But as a recruiter, this helps me as well because I can know what type of person I need to look for during the interview process. And so normally the job description is based off of the needs of the role. What I need to have in this position, I put that in the job description. And then to give you another little secret, normally after that job description is done, they then take that information and they make an interview guide, especially for people who don't do interviews all the time. Your initial interview may be with a recruiter, with a sourcer, someone that's just getting talent on the phones, making sure you're qualified, making sure that you will be at least a decent fit for the role before they pass you on to a hiring manager or someone else in the process. But that next person, they don't normally do interviews. They're only doing an interview now because they need someone on their team. And so a lot of times they're going to have an interview guide, and that interview guide is derived from the job description. So what am I saying? I'm saying that if you can properly analyze a job description, it will give you all the answers for the test. It's going to tell you the types of questions that you need to be prepared for in the interview process based on the information that you see on the job description. They're going to give you all the answers. All the answers are right there in front of you. And so I'm not going to just give you, a pontification about how to do this. We're actually going to jump into the computer, not literally jump into the computer, but I'm going to pull up a job posting that shows the job description so you can see how I would analyze and actually break down a job posting and how I'm going to use that information to help prepare me for an interview. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, when we're doing our research, we're looking at this job posting, we're researching, or, doing the 3 R's. I'm researching to see what type of stories, what type of information I need to be prepared to share during the interview process. Now, a great model for us to use when we're sharing stories and sharing information in an interview is the STAR AR model. You can watch it in this video above me. But how do I decide which stories to tell, right? Especially if you're a really experienced person, you have years of stories to tell. How do you decide which stories are the best stories? Well, we do that by analyzing our job description. So we're looking at an assistant general manager role here. Here's the full job description. The first thing I'm going to look at, I'm going to look for highlighted areas like this: responsibilities and qualifications. Now, there's a lot of responsibilities right here. If you're looking at, what was that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 bullet points? I mean, sheesh. It's a lot, right? So I'm looking through these, and some of them you'll notice as we go through them, some of them are kind of saying the same thing. Like maybe we can bucket those together. Maybe we can handle multiple bullet points with one story. But let's look through a couple of these. Assist the general manager in all areas of the restaurant and support final decisions on the matters of importance. Okay, that one's kind of vague, kind of general. Recognize the power of being present and engage with guests and staff at all times. Stop right there. This lets me know that this is important. It's the second bullet point they have on there. The first one is kind of vague. This one is very specific. and listen to the words they're using. Recognize the power in it. That lets me know that this is something that they value a lot. And so I want to be prepared where I can share a story about how being present and being engaged with guests and staff or anyone has done well for me, and how I make sure that I do that when I show up every single day. I can almost tell by the way this is written that maybe whoever had this job before had a problem with this. Or maybe the leader just values it so highly that it's a deal breaker for them. Ensure, go back to the other one. Recognize the power of being present and engage with guests, staff at all times. Focus on people and making connections while strengthening relationships that already exist. They're letting us know that that's something really important. So already I'm grabbing my notepad, right? I'm grabbing my pen and I'm writing that down, and I'm already thinking in my head of a star AR story that I could tell, or a star story that I could tell that's going to align with that. Let's look at another one. Create lasting relationships with guests to ensure contagious loyalism. Wow. They're looking for some very specific things. So maybe if I'm in a general manager position or an assistant GM position, or maybe if I just worked in a restaurant before and we had a loyalty program that worked really well, maybe this is a great opportunity to talk about the ins and outs of the loyalty program. Maybe not give every single detail, but show them that I know how to do that, because obviously that's something that's very important to them. When you're in an interview, you really want to prove two things. One, you want to prove that you have the experience to do something, meaning you've done it before. But you also want to show them that you've created smart systems to replicate that production. And so if you have a great loyalty program, if you're applying for this role, if you do want to apply for this role, hit me up. We can talk about it. But that would be another one. Let's pick out another one. Manage shifts, including daily decision-making, scheduling, product quality, and cleanliness. That's a good one. Share in restaurants' vision and responsibility of being eco-conscious through sustainability and leadership in the community and in the industry. This is important because, number one, from a research perspective, if I care about that, I just fell in love with this job. So kudos to whoever wrote this job description. I see why it's so detailed now, because they give some very specific things. But also, if I don't care about that stuff, I can just move on to the next posting. This job's probably not the one for me, right? But I need to share how that impacts me and how I can let them know that I care about that just as much as they do. Maybe there's something in my volunteering history, if not in my work history, to show them that this is what I care about. Maybe there's something in my personal life or a core value of my own, or something that happened that makes them want to say, yeah, I can hire this guy because I know he's going to share in our vision and our responsibility. Think about how they said that. It's their vision, but they also see it as their duty, their responsibility to be eco-conscious through sustainability and leadership in the community and in their industry. So these are some ways when I'm looking through our 3 R's and I'm going to do research. There's different levels of research, and we'll talk about that in a different video. But I'm going to analyze that job posting. I'm going to put together on a note card a couple of different stories, and I'm going to have those in my head, make sure that they're rehearsed, make sure that they're concise, make sure that they have all the elements of what makes a good story, show them how you've driven results from your past and have you created smart systems to drive those results again in your future. And then I'm going to make sure that I can present those at the drop of a dime. So that way I'm prepared with 4 or 6 of these, right? You don't have to prepare a story for all of them. And like I said, there's some that you could probably group together. But I'm going to prepare 4 to 6 stories based on these bullet points, have them prepared to go, maybe prep them over the phone with someone, prep them over Zoom with someone. But I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared to kill it at this interview. And I know I'm going to have all the answers to the test because they gave them to me right here in the job interview. And if you do that, I promise you're going to land more job offers. People are going to be impressed with your interview skills, and you're going to work happy. And at the end of the day, that's all I want. If you love this video, I know you'll love the next one. I'll see you guys next time.